Hi everyone, I'm Chris, and I'm doing a challenge against myself, for myself. I don't know, for Gay Pride Month. I'm trying to tell a gay pride story or a gay story for in celebration of Gay Pride Month. I'm actually using a tarot deck that I'm not very familiar with. It's the Gay Tarot by Bursten and Antonella Platano, and I'm guessing by the end of this I will know the deck a little bit more. I'm using a website called karmastartarot.com. She created some spreads for NaNoWriMo, which is every November. It's a challenge for every writer to write a 50,000 word novel, at least get the first draft down, kind of a thing. So this is just a first draft of a story. I am rearranging the spreads around because that's just kind of what I do. I work by creating characters first and then story later, not plot first. But the first time I did do this, the first time I did do this, I did follow her instructions along. So I have some notes here, and when we get to that, I will tell you why my notes are different for this specific project. So today we're doing the Antagonist first display of power. And if I remember correctly, I didn't want to do this because I remember filming this video. I do remember that I think that one of Sage is our main character. He's having a hard time coming out. I think that he has the Guide of Swords, which I think is an ex-boyfriend or a hookup or something. I didn't want to go that route, but that's just kind of what the cards are telling us. At least for this story. And again, this is the first draft, so this could totally go in another direction. But at least for this video, I'm going to use that as a starting off point. And then should you decide you want to write this thing, you are more than welcome to. I am not copywriting this thing. I'm not going to be writing it at all. I just want to show you how you can use tarot cards to unblock some of your creativity. And also when people complain about writer's block, they just don't know how to unblock it. So the tarot cards can just, I have a bunch of tarot cards depending upon like a mermaid story or a zombie story or whatever. And so I just kind of think that those images can bring out a new story and a new world, and I can get more immersed into the story. So with that all being said, I have a tarot deck here, and we're going to do, according to the website, it's day 15, but for our video, it's day 13. And just to prove, I'm shuffling like live. I don't want to, like, I'm trying to do these live so you can kind of see first in like intuition stuff, and see how the tarot works creatively, and just go from there, kind of a thing. There are other things you can do with the tarot once you get into it, and that's a whole different video. I'm not even going to touch that, at least for this project. Now, also something to note is a card fell out. I don't know what card it is, but I'm going to put it back because I don't necessarily like I read reversals myself. And because when cards fall out, a lot of people, when they see cards fall out, that's the tarot wanting to speak to them. But I read reversals, and I don't know if that card came out flipped or reversed or not. So I don't really subscribe to that use of the tarot cards. But by no means is that wrong, or are you wrong for reading cards that fall out of the tarot deck as you're shuffling. Just wanted to throw that out there. You can't really see because my camera's not as low as it could be. But yeah, so let's do this. This is a 7-card spread. I have a signifier as the Sage of Wands, and like I said, I do have a note here. She says signifiers, card 3 from day 14, and the main character. Now, technically, we haven't done day 14 yet. I haven't for this challenge, so I don't have card 3 from that because I've rearranged these around a little bit. And also, I have a card 7, which we will get there, could be a doorway to trial from day 9. And if I looked back at my stuff, and day 9 is actually more of the protagonist versus the antagonist. and who they are. So I wonder if that's a typo. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what that part means. But that could be something to at least look into for later. But let's just do the first antagonist, display of power, and see what happens. We do know that Sage and him met. Sage and this boy, they met at some sort of a pride parade, pride event. Maybe not pride, but like a gay event, a gay rights event. It was the parade. It was the Beyond Judgment card, I believe. And it was just recognition, and it was protesting, maybe a protest, something of that nature. Very public. They met in public. So let's go with this spread. Oh. All right, and that, and this. Okay. So card 1, 2, and 3 is the outline of the display of power and the show of events. Well, we kind of have a card. There is a card called Beyond Power or Beyond Judgment in this deck that looks like it's like a pride event, like a gay pride parade, but we have the Six of Wands actually in these first 3 cards that show another celebration. And I don't know if that was the card that we used. It's probably in the video. Or if it was and I'll, I haven't done putting the spreads on Instagram and stuff yet. So I don't remember what that card was. But the Six of Wands is also a very celebratory public card. So I'll show you that in here in just a second. So 1, 2, and 3. We have the Fool reversed is card 1. We have the Six of Wands, which is card 2. Like I said, it's very public. And the 3 is the next one, the Star. How can this be the first outline of the display of power? I do think it's at a public place. Usually the Six of Wands is about recognition. So I don't know if he's being recognized for something. This has got to be, since this is the antagonist first display of power, this has to be about the boy. So maybe Sage met him and he is the star. He's being thanked. He's done something. He's donated to something. He's the center of attention. Something like that nature. Like it's almost like meeting your celebrity crush or something maybe. So maybe it's kind of something like that. He's being celebrated and he's the star. But I don't know what the Fool means. Maybe he's no fool. Maybe he's not a fool. Or he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. Maybe he thinks that everyone else is a fool except for him. Maybe that's why he's an antagonist. Maybe that's why he's lying. Something of that nature, if that makes any sense. But let's see what the next couple of cards say, and we'll go from there. So number 4 is the main character's initial response. This might be a haters to lovers kind of story, or maybe, I guess, if this is the antagonist, it's a haters to lovers to haters story, if that's even possible. But the main character's initial response is the world reversed. The world is usually the end of a cycle. And the way how I've been interpreting the world lately is more like you think that that your cycle has come to an end, but then there's like a flip, like a plot twist, and then you go on another journey, but still the same journey as a whole, if that kind of makes sense. So I kind of wonder, something like he's not done, something like maybe he heard this guy, like, it was like a little bit of a blackmail situation. I mean, they fell really hard for each other in the previous spreads. But maybe Sage heard him out talking on the phone, and what he's done in the first 3, like donating or doing, why he's being recognized as his first display of power and thinking that everyone's a fool except for him. Maybe Sage finds out he's a liar. And maybe maybe he blackmails Sage into falling in love with him, or saying, if you do this, if you make sure you fall in love with me or become my boyfriend for a certain amount of time, then I won't tell this about you, or something. I don't know. But Sage, I remember Sage loving him. So I don't know exactly what that means. It could be that this guy lied to him. I'm not sure though. So number 5 is what the main character comes to realize, and we've got Justice. He's not being treated fairly. I feel like that since he's the antagonist, I feel like the antagonist broke up with him though. And I think that's what we had in the spread earlier before. Maybe he feels like because what he comes to realize is that he needs to keep this guy at arm's distance, kind of thing. You got 2 arms and 2 different cells, and they can't reach each other. I mean, they are reaching for each other, but maybe he needs to learn to let go. I mean, again, the card could still be reaching for someone, or reaching for somebody new, or reaching for someone that's more similar. I think that might be more what it is. Reaching for Sage needs to find someone who's more similar to him. Maybe not someone that is already out and the star of things. Maybe someone who's also just coming into their sexuality. Maybe someone else, another person who is sort of fresh into this world and getting to know some things. And getting to know themselves. Maybe they can grow together. So maybe that might be something he might need to consider when he comes to realize this about this person. Because this Guide of Swords seems to be really far out there. He seems to be the center of attention, and now Sage is just eye candy. He's obviously becoming not happy doing that. In secret eye candy too, if he's not even out. The 6th card is how the event threatens the main character. And I do find this very interesting that we've had this kind of card and before a little bit in past in the past spreads. We have the 6 of Cups reversed, and we have 2 guys in bed trading a present. Now the 6 of Cups is more about like childish things, or someone from your childhood and feelings. Something young is going to be coming back into your life, but this is reversed. So I wonder how this event threatens the main character. And I feel like, there is an option. We do have a small little kid in Sage's family member plot profile area, the cast of characters, who thinks that Sage is like the awesomest person in the world. So maybe if we want to go that route, something's going to happen to the little kid or the little cousin or the niece or the nephew who thinks that he's awesome. I do feel like this could still be an event that threatens the main character. Something about he's going to be forced to come out. It's not going to be a secret anymore, kind of a thing. Or he'll be judged, or he'll feel guilty for sleeping with this guy. Something of that, which I also kind of find very interesting with this too. And this isn't, I don't know if this is something that we can add to the story or not, because I haven't done this yet. But the star, it's a black guy. And I'm not saying that I don't mean it I don't mean it to be like black people are evil or anything, but I'm just I'm just noticing a correlation. It doesn't have to be black people are bad, because I've been really paying attention to the Black Lives Matter movement and all this stuff. But the only reason I'm saying that is because in the 6 of Cups, there's a black guy in it as well. I don't know if that means that maybe he's Latino, or maybe he's just a darker white. Or maybe it's just because he is the antagonist, and antagonist is usually, white versus black power, or not black power, but like white magic versus dark magic kind of a thing, or black magic or whatever. So I'm just kind of seeing that correlation. I don't want to say that it's a racial thing, but I don't know. I just kind of I'm just noticing a correlation. That's not how I would write it personally. There's something about these 2 people having the same skin tone, or not, but it's not the same person though, because we've got a short hair and a long hair. So that could have been just a huge rant for no reason. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for. I didn't mean to do that, but I just kind of noticed that. So 7, the last card of the spread, is the next step toward the turn. Now, this again, when I said at the very beginning of the video, it says card 7 could be a doorway to the trial from day 9, which again I think is a typo, something that I need to look up again. But we have the moon. We have 2 guys sleeping with each other, and it's about secrets. And if we are going to go the route of 2 guys breaking up, I kind of wonder, maybe we can't really tell what their skin tone is on this, so I don't know if that whole rant that I just did with the other one, if there's a connection. But I'm kind of getting more of a, you know, like when you break up with someone and you sleep with them post breakup, like as like one last final breakup or one last final sexual act. Or maybe they break up and now they're sleeping together in secret. Someone's having an affair, maybe. So there's a turn that we haven't done. There's a turn spread that I haven't done yet, but maybe that's something to keep in mind for when we get to that turn, that first turn, kind of a thing. So maybe they're sleeping together in secret. Maybe someone's cheating on someone. Maybe this is the first time they actually do it themselves together. I don't know. That's a couple of different options you can go with that kind of a thing. So I'm going to put that right there. Again, I will put this spread on my Instagram and my blog, and I will see you for day 14. I don't think I'm going to film that right now, but just to let you know, day 14 is the turn. So that will be the next one that we do, the turn from Act 1 to Act 2. So we will look into that with the next video. So if you want to follow on all the social medias and follow along on how this gay tarot story is forming out to be, we are almost halfway. And we still got about 17 more spreads to go to get our first draft done and to go from there. So see you later, and I will see you in the next video.